Hello, Imaginers. It's Kyla coaching you to the career and life that you imagined. If you read my post last week, you know I was a little bit under the weather, finally feeling better. And so you're having a date night tonight. And I am excited to get out of the house, which got me thinking about wanting. I've been listening to a podcast and reading a book about a theory called mimetic desire. And mimetic desire was a theory that was researched at Stanford, and it basically references wants that we have as humans where we mimic what other people want. And you probably wouldn't be surprised to hear that one of the initial venture capitalist investors in Facebook also studied under this researcher at Stanford. And so if you think about wanting desires based on mimicking others, that is the premise of social media in a lot of ways. But again, it got me thinking about what we really want. And are our wants based on things that we actually want? Or are they based on things that we're mimicking in other people? And I gotta tell you, I felt like I was having an existential evolution when I started reading about this topic. I don't call it a crisis anymore because it's simply the next iteration of me. But it really got me thinking about things in my life and if I am mimicking what others have or if they're truly authentic desires. And one of the things that I started doing was kind of going through decisions I'd made in my life and kind of redeciding if those were things that I still want. It always brings me back to center to be out in nature. And this is one of the reasons that when my husband and I worked on what we wanted our life outcomes to include, which is now, of course, what I teach in my practice. Of course, I made my husband go through it first. We both knew that being close to nature was a big part of what we wanted. And that was a very authentic want. We both started thinking about when we were filled with the most peace, when we were filled with the most joy, and that was truly an authentic want. But I've come to realize that there's other things that I've chosen or am even striving toward in my life that I am simply mimicking others. They are not necessarily authentic desires to me. One of those is the size of the house that we are building on our land. We originally started with the plan to build a guest house first and live in that for a while and then move into our main house. And the guest house living space will only be 600 square feet. And so I used to think, oh, I can't wait to get out of that. Although moving up from our tiny house, that's already gonna feel like a mansion. But from the start, my husband was very focused on the fact that our main house wouldn't be that big. And I was so confused by that prospect, and I kept pushing back on him that of course we have to have a big house because that's what everyone wants, is a big house. And I came to understand that that was a desire that I was mimicking in others. Now, we don't have children, we'll have a guest house, and so we can have accommodations for friends and family, but again, it made me really reevaluate things in my life that I was contemplating going after, or again, things that I already had, and really reevaluating whether those were things that I wanted. So much of the challenge that I faced in corporate America was, I think, mimicking what others were working toward. You know, I was definitely on the track to move from a director to a VP. I eventually wanted to continue to move up even after that and continue to go after all the things that everyone around me seemed to want. The bigger house, the better cars. And now that I have clarity on my life outcomes, my wants and my desires are lined up with what those are. And again, even some of those have come under scrutiny after researching and learning more about this concept and really applying it to my life. And so on the route to your life imagined, I want you to think about what are the things that you desire, and are those authentic desires to you, Or are you simply mimicking what someone else that maybe you see on social media wants or has? Check out my website at kylamartinconsulting.com for some resources if you'd like to take this work further. And if you'd like to see more progress on our first building, sign up for my weekly email at kylamartinconsulting.com under the Inspiration tab. You know that I'm cheering you on to all of your authentic desires in the life and career that you imagine. Take care.